For the final video for lesson 3-13, we're gonna be looking at story problems, and we're gonna be looking at rounding and estimating in terms of helping us solve story problems. And one of the key terms that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about safe. Oops, let's type it, safe and ordinary estimation. And when we talk about safe and ordinary estimation, we're looking at, very specifically, we're looking at different problems. So when we look at problem number 1, Mia has a stamp collection. She has 689 American stamps and 226 foreign stamps. About how many stamps does Mia have? So when we look at this within the context of safe and ordinary estimation, one of the things we really have to look at is how important is it that we get this answer right or wrong? Well, first we have to think, well, we never want to get an answer wrong, but is there anything that's going to happen if we are wrong? And this, we're just kind of estimating a number, and it's not, we're not making sure that we have enough of something or anything like that. So this is what we'd call ordinary. So what we're going to do is we're going to round these two to the nearest 100. So if I take 689 and round that to the nearest 100, I'm going to let this 6, look at my neighbor. 8's going to tell me to go up, so that's going to be 700. And this one, I'm just going to go here, look at my neighbor. The 2 is going to tell me to go to the floor, so that's 200. So Mia has approximately 700 plus 200, 900 stamps. Now, the reason why this would just be ordinary estimation is that it's not really such a big deal if we get it wrong. Whereas when we move to the next one, we'll look at that one. All right, so I'm going to pause while I type that up, and you guys, why don't you take some time and cut out, because we're going to talk about lemonade and pretzels. Karina bought a glass of lemonade for 59 cents and a pretzel for 39 cents. Is $1 enough to pay for both items? Now this one, ladies and gentlemen, when we look at this, this is something that we want to have what's called a safe estimation, which means we want to make sure that we put Karina in a good spot so that when she goes to pay for everything, she's going to have enough money. So what we're going to look at is we're going to round, and here we're going to round to the nearest 10. So I'm going to use red for this, 5. We look at our neighbor, 9, and a 9 tells us to go up. So that's going to be 60 cents. And we're going to add to that a pretzel, which is 39 cents. We look at the 3, go to our neighbor, the 9, because we're rounding to the nearest 10. That's going to tell us to go up, so it's 40 cents. And 60 plus 40 is going to be $1. So if there's no tax or anything like that, this would be she should have enough money. Now that's a safe estimation, because we want to make sure that when we go there we have enough money that we don't run out of money. But the problem is, if there's tax, if this were in Minnesota and she were to buy this, there might be tax, so it would cost her $1.07. So a lot of it just going to depend upon whether it's taxed or non-taxed. But that's the difference between a safe, because we want to make sure we have enough money, or ordinary, where it's not really important whether we're exactly on, but what makes it important is that we have enough. We're just trying to get a rough estimate in terms of that. All right, I'm going to pause and type a little story problem about Tyler. When we look at problem 3, boys and girls, Tyler has $85. He wants to buy a sleeping bag for $53 and a backpack for $34. He rounds these numbers to the nearest 10 and gets $50 and $30. Added together, the numbers total $80. He decides that he has enough money to buy both things. Is he right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a case where we really want to look at a safe estimation, because when we round, it's going to be 53 and 34. But the problem is, in all actuality, that 3 and that 4, they're going to round, they're going to bring us to 87. And if we look at that, because 53 plus 34 is going to give us $87, which is more than what he has. So when we're working with something like this, is he right? Does he have enough? No, he's not right. He does not have enough. The question is, how could we have made this better? And one of the ways we make this better, especially when we're working with money and we want to have safe estimations, what I tend to do is I would round it to the nearest 5. So I would round it to 55 and 35. Now, when I add 55 and 35 together, I'm going to get 5, I'm going to get 10, carry the 1, 3, 8, 9. I'm going to get 90. So one of the important things that you really want to look at when making a safe estimation, you want to get as close to the numbers as possible. And generally when we make a safe estimation, we do not round down, or at least we don't round both numbers down. One number gets rounded up and the other one can get rounded down. But that's just because we want to make sure that we have enough money or we have enough whatever to purchase whatever we need. Okay, we're going to skip the problem about Jeremy, and we're going to go to the problem about Mr. Winkleman buying cars. So give me a second while I type that up. Our final problem, Mr. Winkleman plans to buy 2 cars for his family. He has $30,000 in the bank. One car costs $14,935. The other car costs $13,295. About how much will the 2 cars cost altogether, and does he have enough money in the bank? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is one that we are going to do a safe estimation, because this is something that we don't want to get wrong. We don't want to send Mr. Winkleman to the store to buy cars and him not having enough money, because then he'll go home and cry, because he wants to buy 2 cars, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at each of these numbers and we're going to round them to the nearest 1,000. But just to be on the safe side, okay, when around 14, again, we're going to round to the nearest 1,000, so we're going to look at the 4, look at our neighbor, 9 tells us to go up, and we're going to have 15,000. Okay, that one's pretty straightforward. When we're looking at a safe estimation, okay, we always want to go up with everything. We always want to go up. Here we went up to 55. Here we went up. Okay? In this case, we're going to take 13,295 and we're going to estimate up. So we're going to look at the 3. Let me find my color here. 3. And we're going to go to the nearest 1,000. But we want to estimate up. And if I wanted, I could actually go to the nearest 13,500. So I could go 13,500 if I wanted. Or I could go to 14,000. Either of those will work. Okay? We just want to make sure that we are over. We want to make sure that we have enough versus running out of money. So depending upon which way we go, one would be 29,000 and the other one would be 28,500. And in either case, Mr. Winkleman will have enough money because he has 30,000. So the cars together could cost 29,000 or 28,500, but we will have enough money to purchase both cars. And that's the difference, and that's why when we're going to purchase things that we want to use what's called a safe estimation. We want to round up a little bit just to make sure that we have enough money to cover everything. When I was in college and I didn't have a lot of money, I would always use safe estimation when I was going grocery shopping because I'd have like $40 or $30 and I had to buy certain things and I wanted to make sure that I had enough money to cover everything. So I would always round everything up to the nearest dollar or $5 or $10 just so I could keep a running total in my mind. Alright, so that's the last video for 313. I want you to think about, go back to that question, and what is, what is the difference between safe and ordinary estimation? And when would we use safe estimation versus normal estimation? Alright, thanks for watching.